Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready. So let's start things off with OK Junior Super Heat number 1. There will be 2 Super Heats for the OK Junior 13 lap, and this result added to the Manchester result will give us the grid for the final. So we are ready. Let's see the group starting things off. Another formation lap, of course. Because of the wet condition, it's a little bit difficult to stay on it. E allora diamo anche il benvenuto agli amici italiani per queste Super Hit nella mattinata. Poi ci saranno le finali, i risultati delle Super Hit di questa mattina delle varie categorie o delle prefinali, per chi ha la prefinale ovviamente, sommati a quelle delle manche ci daranno la griglia di partenza della finale di questo pomeriggio per questa Winter Cup 2021. Siamo pronti qui dal South Garda Karting di Lonato del Garda. So we have the time to watch out for the starting grid. It's Freddy Slater starting from the pole position. First row alongside Kirill Kaskov, then Miguel Costa and Oleksandr Bondarev in second row. Third row with Kirill Ditsitiev and Jan Prizovsky. Fourth row with Nathaniel Tai and Konstantin Krapin. Fifth row with Kaskun Irfan and Tom Calendar. And let's see what will happen in this super heat, the last chance for everybody to get it through. Let's see if this time it's green light and we have the first super heat. Here we are. Good start from Slater taking the lead, and Miguel Costa down to the inside and taking second place, wide open for turn 2. The city, but maybe was effective. The group is down for turn 3 and on turn 4. Here we are. We saw the card of Krapin didn't start for this super heat. What a mess for the Russian. Anyway, we stay with that. And with a good start, it's Freddy Slater taking the lead. It's new conditions for the OK Junior because of it was yesterday that the rain started to hit the track. And but at the very end of the day, so just 2 races were fully wet, and was not the OK Juniors one. That was it partially at the end of the race here, and we saw the incident is out of the game for I say Bondarev and Tai. Now Bondarev is there. Was just a little bit loaded, and so it's Bondarev still there in 11th position. So it's Slater first, Irfan second, Sidiev third, Costa fourth, Kutskov in 5th, even if he's fighting to remain with Prizovsky down behind him. It's Kulanov and a little bit, yeah, they're out. So they are the cars, the incident and the chicane. Of course, we saw that this red and white barrier put up for the inside of the second turn of the chicane, because it's a very dangerous spot. A lot of water is stay there, so it's a very difficult spot. We saw that yesterday. So 2 laps gone, and it's still Freddy Slater leading things up. Yesterday in the wet condition that surprised OK Junior was the better was able to stay on track even in those hard, tough conditions. It's Koskar Irfan right alongside with him in second place. It's just a second away. So it seems like the British guys are making it good. Up the hill and down we go with the overtake for the 5th place. I'd say yes, it is. It's Haldari over Costa for the 4th place. Sorry, it's Slater, Irfan, Sitiev, Haldaheri and Costa for the top position. Down the hairpin and back to the straight for the end of lap 3. Later, and Kaskan Irfan was the fastest on the track, 1 minute 3 seconds and 7/10. 2/10 better than Slater. And in fact now Irfan is 8/10 away from his fellow British driver, but a different style between Slater and Irfan on some turns, on some corners, like in turn 4. Dive on the inside by Irfan, more around the curves for Slater. Even in the chicane, we can see that now. It's difficult to stay on it. Counter steering all the way, and Costa warning flag to Miguel Costa. Right now Miguel Costa now is in 5th after the overtake from Bondarev, and they're fighting right behind the top drivers. Here we can see that on the airpin down on the outside, the battle between CTF and Bondarev, with Bondarev taking the 3rd position, and now side by side on turn 1. Crossing pass down outside the track. What a fight between Bondarev and CTF. And I guarantee it's not over yet. Turn 4. Let's see what happened. Down on the inside. He covered things up on the inside. And it worked. Rashid Bondarev is back in 4th position up the hill. Once again, crossing path. They're fighting all over the track for the 3rd position. Now, I guess they have it down the airpin, and fight between Bondarev and CTF, of course, allowed to Costa and Krzyzowski to get back on it. They are near, they are close. Dive on the inside by Costa, trying to get it through, and I guess he has it. It's Costa over CTF, but CTF back on it, so it's Slater, Irfan, Bondarev and Costa now fighting with CTF, and Krzyzowski just behind them. Now Krzyzowski on turn 4 cover Costa, trying to defend himself from the Polish driver. He's fighting up for a turn 5 on the inside. Krzyzowski with the overtake. No problem for Krzyzowski. Another position lost from the Brazilian driver Miguel Costa, that is now in 5th. Now that Freddie Slater, the leader of the race, is diving up on the straight. It's 6 laps gone, 7 to go. It's still Slater, Irfan, Bondarev, Krzyzowski, Costa, then Cusco in 7th, Garda in 8th, tied in the calendar for the top 10. It seems like slowly, but Irfan could make a comeback over Slater. 7/10 between two British drivers at the top of the heat. Irfan is way better in the first part of the track, and then Slater, Slater down on the inside of the curves. Risking something, I guess. He lost a little bit of time there. Let's see if we are right. Now that Slater is on the last hairpin of the track. The main straight once again. Slater 1 minute 3 seconds point 3. Irfan 1 minute 3 seconds point 1. Recovered 2/10. But the fastest on the track is Rashid Bondarev 1 minute 2 seconds point 9. And this is the first driver below the 1 minute 3 seconds wall. That means that Bondarev is getting confidence on this track, on this wet track, on this wet condition that nobody else got. He's 1.8 seconds away. There's a warning flag for Jan Krzyzowski in fight with CTF, and Krzyzowski now is in 4th, in front of CTF, ahead of Costa to Garda and Cusco, still fighting for 7th position. Tai and calendar on the top 10. And I'd say that maybe Kaskan Irfan is even closest to Slater. Let's see if I'm right. Yes, another 10th gained by Irfan. He's trying to close things up over Slater. We saw, I guess it's Salim Hernandez retiring from the race. Once again is Aldo Harry, the fastest on the track. 1 minute 2 seconds 8. What a race from Rashid Aldo Harry. He started on the 7th row on the grid. Now he's in the 3rd, and it's closing up on Slater and Irfan. If by the end of the race Irfan and Slater will try to fight each other, we will probably see Aldo Harry in the mix too. Still fighting Prizovsky, trying to defend on himself over Sintiev, that is trying to regain the 4th position wide on the hairpin. And I guess Irfan is there, is ready to attack Slater. What a different choice on the hairpin, avoiding the water, trying to get the pedal down, gas open. It's half of a second between Irfan and Slater. It's once again Aldo Harry with the fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 2 seconds, 0.801. It's constantly like 7 tenths faster than Slater and Irfan, and Rashid Aldo Harry is almost there. Can probably be there even before Irfan can attack Slater. They are very near Irfan on the hairpin. The second one is gone, and we saw last turn that at the 3rd Irfan preferred to go wide outside, and Slater preferred to get it on the inside. Slater, Irfan, Aldo Harry, Prizovsky, Sintiev, Costa, Garda, Kuskov, Tai, Cardenas. Here we are with the top 10, 10 laps gone. It's 3 to go. Now up the hill, we saw Slater hard on the brake. The rear part of the car just up for a second, and Rashid Aldo Harry, I guess, is ready to fight with Irfan for 2nd position. Was faster and faster, and now is ready to attack. Maybe on the 2nd hairpin from the outside. Aldo Harry trying to go the crossing path. Once again, time on the inside. Try to cut hairpin out. Slater, Irfan, Aldo Harry fighting for the winning on this super hit. Number 1 for OK Junior. Down on turn 3. Slater on turn 4. Aldo Harry covering on the inside. Irfan, he knows that Aldo Harry is there. And for the pace, we saw Aldo Harry is way faster than Irfan, and then Slater, but to pass it by, it's just another job. Irfan defending hard himself, Aldo Harry trying to find the space of the chicane. Down on the gas, down in the hairpin, and Freddie Slater tried to run away with it. Last hairpin deep on the inside. Irfan trying to cover every space possible where Aldo Harry can attack him. Then of course give some space to Freddie Slater, start of the last lap of the super hit. On turn 3 once again, side by side. Aldo Harry, let's see if he can try on turn 4 on the inside. Irfan just out of the turn with a lot of more sprint, and it's Aldo Harry trying to hold in things up from the outside up the hill, and down we go. Altairi with the second position at the very last lap. Now down on the chicane. He's got it. He's in second. It's later Altairi and Irfan. And I guess it's later. It's just too far to try in these last corners for Altairi. What a race from Rashid Altairi. And the checkered flag is there. It's Freddy Slater taking the win of this super hit. Altairi in second and Kaskun Irfan just in third. And come alongside Prizovsky in fourth, Zitiev in fifth. And it's Miguel Costa too in sixth. Garda at the end of the day won the duel against Kuskov for seventh position. It's Kuskov on eighth, Ty in ninth, and Cardenas rounding up the top 10. Then it's Calendar on 11th, Woods in 12th, Fotif in 13th, Emma Feldbermeyer in 14th, Levo in 15th, Stewart in 16th, Gladys in 17th with Pedrini 18th. Now the checkered flag for Maman in 19th and Goryanov in 20th. I guess it's all because all the other drivers are out of the game. So the first super hit is gone. Rodella, Hernandez, Bondarev, Krapin, Egnoa, all of them are out. Krapin too, of course, retired from the race. So this is the result of the first super hit in few moments, the OK Junior super hit number 2. Speaking of the OK Junior, it's the final 15 lap for this category to decide who will win the Winter Cup. The man on pole position is Freddy Slater after the astonishing hit this morning, alongside Maximilian Popov in first row, alongside with him. Then the second row with Thomas Dolchermanis and Kirill Kuskov. Third row with Jan Pulkui and Miguel Costa. Fourth row with Markus Sitter and Kirill Zitiev, Jan Prizovsky and Stepan Antonov in fifth row. Nathaniel Tai and Kaskun Irfan in sixth row. Seventh row with Jimmy Elia and Oleksandr Bondarev. And now we see the huge group coming alongside through the last corner, throughout the Alpines, to start things off. And it's Slater with a great start. It's Soldier Minus right beyond him that is trying to still hang up on the leader, on the pole. And from the outside, I guess one is Costa trying to dive in on the third. And Stepan Antonov is outside. It did not start. We see him out of this finale. What a pity for Stepan Antonov. A huge weekend for the Russian, and now he's out. And speaking on out, he's out on his way. As always, Alfie Later is trying to do what he's doing best in this whole weekend. Just fly away around the circuit. It's still rain. It rained all the time during the break, so nothing changed much. And we see a yellow flag in the last sector, the first hairpin. We can see from our position or from the camera's angle which is the riders involved. Maybe Kuskov a little bit in late. Oh, it's Molnar. I guess Molnar is out of the race. So Molnar too is out of the race. And it's one lap down. We are with Alfie Slater trying to run away with it, of course, and with Soldier Minus, and I guess it's Seater in third position. Soldier Minus, Seater and Popov trying to trade on Slater, that once again, as much as this morning, is trying to show off to anybody else that is a large comfort zone here on this track. 2 laps down, and Slater is already, and by not so far, but he's already there, fastest on the track. 1 minute 3 seconds 946 is just off of a tenth faster than Stolchermanis in this lap, but it's already 1 second point 1 of advantage for the British guy. It's 1.4.1 even for Seater that is there. Popov, Kui, Przalski, Kutskov in 7, Elia in 8, 9 with CTF, and Miguel Costa running up the top 10. Slater turning down for his for the RP, trying to get along with it. And we see how far from the curbs in that last corner. Everybody passed this tire to not risk anything. Corner number 3, nothing changed. We saw an astonishing performance this morning from Rashid Al-Daheri, and once again he is there. Now he's in 10th position, started back 18th, so he's already gained 8th position from the start. It's warning flag direct to Dmitry Matveev, running up in 11th position now. So nothing changes. Still Slater the fastest on the grid, 4 tenths gained in this lap from Seater, with Stolchermanis far 1 second point 4. Allora, 4 giri andati agli archivi, 4 e mezzo ormai dovremmo dire, ora che i primi piloti scollinano. E c'è Slater che comanda le operazioni ancora. Giro record nella tornata precedente, un primo 0,3 secondi e 495 millesimi, 4 decimi più veloce di Stolchermanis e di Seater, Popov, Kui, Przalski, Kutskov, Elia, Costa e Al-Daheri. E di gran lunga il più veloce in pista Freddy Slater, che sta provando a guadagnare margine, anche se nelle ultime tornate ha fatto un po' di elastico con Stolchermanis, se lo fa anche questa volta. Un primo 3 secondi e 340 millesimi per Stolchermanis, 3 decimi più rapido stavolta lui di Slater, con anche Marcus Seater e Popov che sono stati leggermente più veloci del leader della corsa in queste condizioni. Poi lo sappiamo, basta una sbavatura, un po' di acqua più presa, una traiettoria sbagliata di pochi centimetri a perdere, a lasciare giù decimi importanti. Continua a guidare Slater dopo stamattina, continua comunque a mostrare di avere una confidenza importante con questa pista anche in queste condizioni di bagnato. Aspettiamo il passaggio sul traguardo per dare un'occhiata di nuovo al monitor dei tempi e capire. Oh! There's the spin! There is the spin at the last corner! Is Stolchermanis out for the race? No, it's not, but it's, of course, it's out for the win. Oh, what a... That's a pity. Oh, and there's a complete tie went out on Louis Leveux kart down on the chicane, so Leveux retired, and I guess Stolchermanis is retired too. Now the steward recovering the tire, the front right tire of Leveux on the chicane, and the spin with Stolchermanis out of the game, and that's a very, very sad news for Socher Minus. Out of the race, or at least out of the winning compound, Socher Minus. Of course, now it is later leading. Sitter in second, Popov in third. And now Slater got a 2.7 second advantage over Marcus Sitter. With the Latvian out of the race. It's midway in this race for Freddie Slater. Now it's Sitter on the second place, with Popov not so far away. It's 7/10 between the Norwegian and the Russian. Then it's Jan Pukui, 1.1 seconds away from Popov. Then Prizovsky, and the comeback of Rashid Aldairi is still going on. Now is up in sixth. What a performance for the driver from the United Arab Emirates. Overtook just Kuskov in the previous lap, and now he's just seconds away from Prizovsky. Seems like Aldairi got a gear. Oh, there's a spin on the chicane! There's a spin on the chicane! And I guess it's Jan Pukui. Yes, it is now. He's trying to get out of the way, out of the line of the chicane. He wants to rejoin the race, of course. He's trying to. Oh, that's pretty dangerous. Oh, he slips away. Oh, he's out of the race. Race over for the Chinese driver. What? And there's another shame for, of course, for this race. Jan Pukui rounding up in fourth is out of the game. So Prizovsky up in fourth, Aldairi up in fifth. It's 9 laps down. Almost 5 to go. And Freddie Slater is still the leader of the race, 3.2 second advantage over Sitter. And now got Popov just behind him. Maybe, just maybe, Popov could try to attack Sitter. It's the same situation right behind them with Prizovsky and Aldairi. Aldairi passed it by just below a tenth of a second away from the back of Prizovsky. Seems like he's ready to attack the Polish for the fourth position. Nothing that can bother Aldairi right now. Now Aldairi trying to find the space on the chicane. Let's see if he tries to dive in the airpin. Yes, he's trying it, and he's done it. Aldairi up in fourth. And now we can see if Prizovsky tried to answer it back. There's no space, maybe at the last corner, but Aldairi is good. And there's another spawn. Oh, it's Jimmy Elia. Jimmy Elia, it's out of the race. The Frenchman was in seventh, and now he is out. Another driver lost through this race, and it's Slater, Sitter, Popov. Now it's Rashid Aldairi. in fourth, with Prizovsky in fifth. Now it's 2.1 seconds between Aldairi and Popov. Seems like too much. Oh, there's yellow flag in the first sector. Yellow flag in the first sector at turn number 2 or number 3. Oh no, down the hill. Two drivers are out of the game, and it's Kuskov and maybe it's Mikkel Costa. Kuskov and Costa out of the game too. This is starting to be an eliminatory race. Kuskov, Costa out of this race. So Matviv, DTF, Egotzi, Tai and Bondarev, all of them gain 2 positions above. Oh, there's another driver maybe out of the race at the end of the last corner. As we can see now, is not one of the top drivers. Looking at the time monitor. It's Slater now trailing for the end of lap 13th. Sitter, I guess the Norge just gave up on. Got to choose later, but now he has to defend in the last 2 laps from Popov and Aldairi. Both of them are very, very close to them. It's out of the game, I guess, Prizovsky for the podium, unless they start to fighting hard and let the Polish get back. Let's see if Aldairi will move first, or vice versa, will be Popov just trying to attack. Sitter, no it's not, it's Aldairi in third, up the hill and down. Rashid Aldairi, step on the podium. What a race from Rashid Aldairi. Now he's in podium zone, and now he got the target on Marcus Sitter for the 2nd place. Nobody is safe except from Freddy Slater, I'd say. Starting now the last lap of this solitary race, up in front of everybody else. It's 4.3 seconds over Sitter. Now got some issues, got some trouble, and the name of these troubles is Aldairi. Something else to think about it. Aldairi trying to get it on Marcus Sitter. And down the hill for the last time, Freddy Slater go. Breaking up for the chicane. And it's later. The last 2 are pits. Oh, it's Aldairi over Sitter. Is that? Is that it is? Freddy Slater with a brilliant drive. No problem till the checkered flag. Got the Winter Cup for the OK Junior, and Rashid Aldairi with an awesome came up. The upset of the day, I'd say, just now from the 9th row on the grid, is up to the 2nd place. With the last lap, of the very last lap, the best one is 1 minute 2 seconds, 0.871. At the very last lap, Rashid Aldairi shows up that maybe, just maybe, with a little bit more lucky during the weekend, could handle Slater for the win. But Freddy Slater, the British, came along with the Winter Cup on his hands. Aldairi in the 2nd place, Marcus Sitter ending up in 3rd with a bronze medal, and now it's Popov in 4th, Prizovsky ending up in 5th. But what a race from Slater, up in front since the very beginning of the race. Nobody was able to match his pace. Nobody was able to fight with him. It was just perfect. So if Freddy's later taking the win over Rashid Al-Daheri. And wow, once again, Al-Daheri started 18th on the grid, back up to the second place. Ending up in third, Marcus Sitter, a good came back for the Norgay 2. Was just not enough to stay ahead of Al-Daheri. That showed off an incredible performance today. So it's later taking the win over Al-Daheri and Sitter. Then it's Popov in fourth, Prizovsky in fifth position. At the end, they tried to fight, but Prizovsky ended up in fifth, Matveev in sixth. Then it's Zitiev in seventh, Egotzi in eighth, Bondarev in ninth, and Tai running up to top 10, Irfan in 11th, Pavalt Calendar in 13th, Tarvanichkul in 14th, Wurz in 15th, Zenrui in 16th, Flebo Meyer in 17th, Pibos in 18th, Irfan in 19, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, 19 Orjuela,